I think we owe Chelsea a massive thank you. You know what? Round of applause for Chelsea for offering us a free training session in our build-up and our preparations for our mammoth tie versus Southampton in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. Utter dominance as City beat Chelsea 4-0 in the Etihad Stadium tonight. The second win over Chelsea in the space of 4 days, and tonight it couldn't have looked any easier. A polar opposite game to the one in Stamford Bridge on Thursday night. In Stamford Bridge, we really had to grind it out, and the performance wasn't the best in Stamford Bridge either. Tonight, it was dominance. It was a much better performance, and I feel refreshed. People, because tonight we saw a confident, comfortable City team. Everybody was in their natural positions. Everyone looked like they knew what they were doing. Experimenting has been a problem for us for a number of months now, hasn't it? Pep trying out new formations, putting players in strange positions and things we don't like to see, which has probably probably been the reason as to why we haven't looked great, and people saying City have fallen off and City aren't the juggernaut they used to be. Pep was trying things out. Pep was doing trial and error. He was gathering evidence, and then he was going to come to his final conclusion and put that juggernaut back into the world. And tonight, I don't know was it any of the evidence I'm talking about, but we just saw City go back to what we know the most and back to what has worked in recent years. We have the back three, the one inverting fullback. That's what worked last season. Sergio Gomez being that inverting fullback. Do I think he was great? No, but I'll talk about him. You had Rodri and Bernardo in midfield, both very assured performances, both looked very good. And then the main man in midfield for me tonight was Phil Foden. When I saw the team sheet before the game, I was saying, is it going to be Foden or is it going to be Palmer in midfield? It's going to be one of them, but my head was kind of leaning towards Palmer, because when we've been in these positions recently, Pep has for some reason gone with Palmer in midfield, and Palmer didn't even look his best tonight either. But Phil Foden, we've spoken about City fans for a long time now as being a more natural midfielder. That's the position he grew up playing all through the academy, midfielder. And Pep decided to play him on the wing for a number of years, and he's looked great in the wing. He really has. He's established himself at the elite level of football as a winger. But we all know as City fans that he's a midfielder. And tonight we saw him in midfield. He got his goal. He was pulling the strings. He was playing passes. We can be encouraged and very satisfied with the future of Phil Foden in midfield. That's where he will ultimately end up. Pep has said this, and tonight we got a glimpse of it. I don't think he'll feature much more there this season, especially in the Premier League. You'll see, De Bruyne slot back in. You've got Gundo and Bernardo and whatnot. But we got a glimpse of what we can expect in the future, and the future is bright for Phil Foden in midfield. But listen, the man of the moment tonight is more than likely, or it is Riyad Mahrez, isn't it? That's 3 goals in a week for him against Chelsea. Chelsea must be sick. They must be sick of the sight of Riyad Mahrez and Manchester City. Home or away, it doesn't matter. We're still beating you. What's that? 3 in a row this season, and 4 or 5 in a row in the last 2 seasons against Chelsea. They must be sick of us. And Riyad Mahrez with an absolute corker of a free kick in the postage stamp, as they say. No keeper in the world saves that. He seems, even though he's getting criticism this season for his overall season performances, Riyad Mahrez, he's still turning up with the goods. He's still producing the G and A, mainly the G, and that's what we want. We want players to come up with the G. Give us the G, we're happy. Mahrez is getting his goals, and he got his other goal too, the penalty. It kind of confused me a little bit because Alvarez scored the first penalty. Alvarez was still in the pitch. I was low-key hoping Alvarez would get the second penalty, just, get his stats up, get him feeling more comfortable, get him back to playing club football and whatnot. But listen, who am I to argue? Mahrez absolutely nearly burst the roof of the net with that second penalty. And listen, it was just a great performance overall. I think if I'm being hypercritical, Gomez and Palmer probably won't be overall satisfied with their performances, but it is what it is. It wasn't to the detriment of the team. I think we've got other players who slot into those positions. Cancelo, good to get some minutes under his belt. Customary yellow card for Cancelo as always. But listen, it was an overall good performance, and I don't want to be too naive and too blinded by that performance. I think City did everything they had to do. City, you can only beat what's in front of you, and City absolutely blitzed what was in front of them. Chelsea, we all know about Chelsea, the problems they're in. They're in complete disarray. I think that's 1 win in 9, and they offered us, like I said at the top of the video, a free training session. As far as second halves go, that was the easiest second half we're ever going to see Manchester City have, or at least in a long, long time. Chelsea came out with absolutely no intent of making a fight back, no intent of putting any pressure on us or trying to make us play a bit. We were able to control the flow of the game. We were able to knock the ball around, no pressure, yada, 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 straightforward, get to the 90th minute, and we all go home happy. Listen, is it a good performance? Yes. I've been asking myself this after every game. Is it a good performance? And more often than not recently, it's been no, but we've still been kind of trucking along with wins other than the Everton and Brentford game. But today was the first really good performance in a long time. I'm really happy with the performance that I saw tonight from all the players. I think everybody knew what they were doing. They looked comfortable. They looked assured. No one looked under severe pressure. Is that because Chelsea are so bad? There's probably an element of that too. But for us, it's just about trucking along, picking up the wins, keep building the momentum. We've been expecting that second half of the season run, And we said hopefully everything's just a blip. And I think the second half of the season run, it's coming. I think it's underway slowly but surely. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We've got Southampton away on Wednesday. It's still a big game. I know Southampton are bottom of the Premier League. I'll do a proper preview on that at the time. It's still a big game for momentum and getting to the semi-final where you could possibly draw Man United. In the FA Cup now, it's looking like we're going to play against Arsenal because they're probably going to beat Oxford, with all due respect to Oxford. So there's a massive fixture list ahead. United, Spurs, Arsenal twice, FA Cup against Arsenal, Carabao semi-finals potentially should we beat Southampton. But listen, we thrive under pressure. We know this. We thrive under pressure. Give us the big games. We prefer the big games to the games against the lesser opposition. So I'm perfectly happy. 5 goals against Chelsea in 4 days, regardless of how bad or good Chelsea are. It's always great to put 5 goals past them, and that's what we've done. Listen, we'll move on to Wednesday, and I'll do a proper preview come the time. Leave down your comments below on tonight's game. I think it was utter dominance. It was proper dominance. It was a proper City performance that we haven't seen for quite some time. The Liverpool game in the Carabao was also quite good, but this was a proper dominant performance, and hopefully Pep will realise with the formation he set up and remembering that players in their own natural positions will always tend to do better, believe it or not. He'll take that note, and we'll take it into the United game next Saturday, because that is the big one this week, isn't it? So listen, leave down your thoughts in the comments on tonight's game. Who impressed you? Who didn't impress you? Who do you want to see midweek? Who do you want to see in the derby? I think there's a lot of talking points. We've got more videos coming out this week centered around those kind of talking points. And leave a like on the video if you would. It does help massively. The channel is growing lovely. We're on the road to 5K, so do of course subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Good night and God bless.